Today we are going to talk about el programa de distribución de libros de textos gratuitos from Mexico. Back in 1959 in Mexico, Jaime Torres Bordet was worried about the children's education because the education was free and obligatory, but the problem was that their books were too expensive. So Adolfo López Mateos started to act because the books were too pricey, they had poor quality, and they were inaccessible for most Mexican families, yet they were necessary for a better education.
Later, Adolfo López became president, and back then the nation's literacy wasn't really big and there were too many poor people. So Torres Bodet had a creative idea to have the distribución de libros de texto gratuitos, a program in which every child should go to school with their necessary books paid by the Federation.
After reasoning many aspects of the CONALITEC was founded then by the President Adolfo López in 1959. This stands for Comisión Nacional de los Derechos de Texto Gratuitos, and it has the purpose to supply with free textbooks for students with less opportunities.
Like the Article 26 says, everyone has the right to education. This event promotes the human rights to encourage people to have an education without having to spend a lot of money on expensive books. This way, more people could be able to go to school at a very affordable price. If more people go to school, they will learn a lot more about general culture. More people could have more jobs, because most jobs now they require basic education. If more people have jobs, they will have at least a standard life, as the Article 25 says, so they can take care of their family and give them a good life.
Our event is related mainly to the human rights of education because it opened a lot of doors to people with very little resources, people who wanted to learn and improve their lifestyles, because those who had money were already educated and didn't need any help from the government.
The president of Mexico at that time thought that it was really important that Mexicans were educated because most of the Mexican population could not write and or read, so he started giving books to children so that they would likely be more successful and have more opportunities.
The Children's Right to Education says, people should be able to have the best opportunities. How were children supposed to have the best opportunities in education if they didn't have books? People couldn't even afford them. The president at that time, along with the Secretary of Education, designed a program where all children will have the access to books in their school. They also designed the book program so that there will be no discrimination on any book.
All books were appropriate for the age of the child. They learned about history, environment, children's rights, etc., etc. Since this program started, more than 5,100,000 people have received this book in Spanish and 42 different indigenous languages.
With all this, children have the opportunity to learn different topics that are important for everybody's future. All of this guarantees the same level of education for everybody, and this is very important for the country to continue growing in culture and in relations around the world.
Without education, people wouldn't know if what the government is doing is good for them and their country, or is just for the good of the people in power.
We think that the reason this program became so successful and spread in the whole country is because people are eager to learn about their society and their surroundings, to understand how their country became what it is and what to do to help them in an area that is of difficulty. We believe that people really care of what they are becoming, and if they don't like what they are becoming, they will want to know how to change their future to make a better one.